All right, so if you're not all in on investing in AI right now, you're fumbling the biggest bag that you will ever see in your lifetime. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the exact setups that you should be taking in both the public and the private markets to be able to fully capitalize on this generational trade that's happening right now. And so this is probably the most important video that you'll watch this year because the window is very short. I think the window for the convexity and the asymmetric gains from this trade will disappear within the next 1 to 2 years. And as you guys know, this is something that I've gone pretty much all in on. I've posted about over the past couple of years that I've rotated all my crypto profits into AI and robotics. I was a pretty early investor into Anthropic, OpenAI, SpaceX, Perplexity, many of the AI lab companies, and also a lot of the robotics companies such as Apptronik, filqhh, etc. And these have all gone up insane amounts. I mean, over this time. This is actually a graphic from an old video. So actually, this is assuming a $380 billion valuation on Anthropic, which we now know to be 900 billion. So the valuation or the upside actually here is closer to 250x over the past few years. And similar to OpenAI, this is actually closer to 25x. This was assuming a $500 billion valuation, which has now been marked up to around billion dollars. Obviously, right, private markets have been the place to be. I've been preaching it, since the start. I think I'm pretty much the only content creator who's sharing both information and access to these kinds of markets. For example, I've helped create access for Prometheus, which is Jeff Bezos' new AI company. I believe this to be actually the best private market play available right now. I believe that there's a combination of both you're early as well as there is a sort of proven leader, right, with Jeff Bezos. Obviously, not much to be said there. And the valuation is only $28 billion. Given Anthropic's trading at almost $1 trillion, I think this is very asymmetric. I know many family offices trying to buy $50 to $100 million of this. I have access to another $300 million block of this and have been syndicating this to my members in my Discord. So feel free to join if you would like access to this opportunity. I cannot syndicate this publicly on Twitter, obviously, and you need to be accredited. So I need to have a relationship with me. So feel free to reach out in the Discord if you would like to join. Of course, there's other opportunities, including Anduril, which was actually just recently syndicated by a member of my Discord at the Series H valuation. So this is also something that I believe to be pretty high upside because there's pretty much, there's 1 to 2 years at least until it IPOs. But what I like about private market deals is that, you're basically playing the Ponzi of these markets where as each round is, subsequent round is raised, the valuation increases. So there's probably at least 1 or 2 more rounds of valuation increases before the IPO. And so you would be able to sell into those markups as, if you had IPOs, you have lockup, right? So that's the reason why I've shared in previous videos that I don't like holding into IPO is because you're subject to lockup 6 months in the US, which sucks because a lot of these IPOs, I think like Anthropic, SpaceX, OpenAI, I don't think they'll go very well after these companies IPO. I believe that they're exit liquidity events and that you can see much better prices after the IPO within a few months of it. But yeah, these are a couple of the opportunities that I'm helping syndicate that the upside is quite high for them. And there's enough, proven moat within these companies as proven momentum, proven revenue, that I believe that these are the best opportunities in the markets right now in the private markets. And within public markets, there's a few different plays that I've been in. I've shared Bloom Energy over the past couple years. This is up like 20x from since I've shared it last year. I believe that this is one of the biggest opportunities in the markets right now. And for many people who have been sharing that, they're skeptical that this is a bubble, right? AI is a bubble. We just saw earnings from Meta, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, the Mag 4, and their PE ratios are only, between 16 to 25x. And keep in mind that the PE ratios for many of the .com bubble companies were at like 70 to like 100x. Yahoo is at like 800x, right? Those are crazy. And AI basically has sustained enough, revenue and enough strength and profitability to the point where I don't think this is a bubble, right? This clearly is not a bubble. The world is shifting towards automation, right? Automation of physical labor, of tasks that are both blue and white collar. So really, these companies are building at the forefront of this. And I don't think this is a bubble. I think that we will continue to see higher and higher valuations for these kinds of companies. So I think that investing in them is really your only choice to capture the upside. You either invest or you build an AI. And that's the way you make money in the future. So there's a lot of bottlenecks to AI, right? There's semiconductor bottlenecks, there's chip bottlenecks, memory bottlenecks. There's several companies solving this. So Bloom Energy is one of them, in the energy sector. And this is something that kind of became a sleeper AI pick over the past year. And this was recently actually breaking out over this level right here, which I sort of commenting a lot about this in my Discord, where I've shared a lot of setups on Bloom Energy in particular. Pretty much every single day I'm sharing setups in this Discord. Feel free to join if you want public market trades as well. But have been discussing Bloom Energy as my main exposure to AI infra and data centers in public markets. And ever since it broke out over $176, this is basically a free trade to take alongside that. And yeah, it's been doing very, very well. I do think that, you had earnings, a few days ago, has done very well since then. As long as it maintains this breakout level over 176, it looks really, really good. I think anytime that we see retest this level, it's pretty much a free buy. And as long as it continues, this bullish market structure, I expect this trend to continue higher. Intel has been a very, very clean trade. If you look at the high time frame chart, we are actually making a new all-time high on this. This is something that the government has invested in. This is something that had really good earnings, which propped up a bunch of other stocks. And if you guys notice, right, very, very clean setup on New York Open. I've discussed the New York Open trigger many, many times in previous videos. If you guys want to go over that, you can find them in previous videos. But this is basically a setup that is a free money, right? 9:30 Eastern time this morning. Basically free money, right? We get this breakout where the trade is very asymmetric, right? We see this, local level or sort of a, there's multiple days of confluence right here. Breakout above, clean breakout on New York Open with, multiple confluences, very easy invalidation below. If this happened, then you obviously cut the trade. But this has just been booming ever since then. And I believe that it's probably going to keep trading higher into the market tomorrow. And so this is one play that I'm looking at in particular that I've invested pretty heavily in. Same with SanDisk. SanDisk, many of you guys probably know, has been the best performing stock of both 2025 and 2026. And I believe this is going to remain unchanged. Very, very strong price action. As we see here, it's pretty much been trending nonstop. The main trade that I looked for is pretty much this trade, at the beginning of the year, which I ended up taking. This is right around New Year's. And ever since, it's broken out above this all-time high right here, also very clean trade. And this breakout right here above $1,000, this was another clean trade to take as well. So yeah, basically just want to see continued momentum above $1,000 above here. And I think that this will continue to ride this sort of momentum higher. I also invested in AMD as well. I basically bought shares of this on this all-time high breakout last week. So this was a play that I took above 267. This is something that I posted about right here where I discussed AMD trade with loosened validation, basically below those New York Open highs right here. So this was something I looked at pretty much right here, right? Very, very clear, high time frame level. This has been persisting for the past, it's been several months. So very, very clean trade, momentum, took this trade all the way up, 10, 20%, looking for this level to hold for additional sort of upside. And if it clears these highs, I expect a pretty decent sized move. And yeah, same with ARM. This is another trade that I took on this all-time high break right here. Really want to see it sustain this. This is a 2-year level, so I really want to see this level hold. The rest, if it does, if it doesn't, I will cut the trade. But took some profits on this move above here. Kind of want to see it, build structure and continue to trend higher. I do like this as a sort of AI infra play as well. The recurring theme of taking all-time high breakouts on AI infrastructure stocks continues with Micron Technology, or MU. Very similar setup. As I noted in my Discord right here, I ended up taking this all-time high breakout as it happened, with invalidation pretty easily below 470. And this is exactly what happened. We just got a pretty nice breakout above. Want to see it maintain this sort of bullish market structure above. So ideally, don't want to slip it, see it slip below this. Otherwise, just looking for new highs above here, and this could be another valid setup above this level. Amazon as well, if it sustains this all-time high, could be another sort of play as well, although it's been a little bit choppy over the past day, but just had earnings today as well. If it sustains this level, looking for a new all-time high in this as well. Of course, NVIDIA is another clear AI bet, but it kind of swept all-time high, so if you see a clear reclaim, would like to take this trade as well. But yeah, those are my main exposures to AI, both in the public and the private markets. Private markets, of course, I still have a lot of Anthropic that I'm holding that I will likely sell within 4 to 5 months, just before the IPO. So if anyone is interested in acquiring anywhere from $100 to $300 million of Anthropic, feel free to reach out to me if there's any family offices watching this video. I also wanted to make a note that if you're trading crypto during this time, you seriously need to seek help. Like, this chart has been absolute aids to trade. This has been the price action of Bitcoin. Meanwhile, if you look at every single other AI stock, it's been going absolutely crazy since then. You're completely wasting your time if you're trading crypto or being involved in this industry in any way whatsoever. It's completely cooked. I mean, if you look at this chart, it is complete dog shit compared to the S&P, which is making new all-time highs. Like, this is absurd, the difference between these two. This is just a dead asset class with absolutely no future. I think that if you're investing in this, you are just like, you're unable to see things objectively. And I swear everyone in crypto has developed some form of Stockholm syndrome where they irrationally just tie their entire identity and have developed this weird cult around crypto. And unfortunately, the chart says it all. And there's no more catalysts left. There's no more grifts left to be had. It was just an extraction and a grift from the beginning. So this is my thoughts on crypto. It looks terrible. Don't trade it. Don't invest in it. That's it. No better time to be really all in, both on building an AI as well as investing. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any comments or questions. But as always, it's been a pleasure, and I hope that this has provided you guys some value that's actionable for you guys. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.